So, hi everyone. This is Diva Pound and Beyond Porter, and we will be going over tonight taxes, how to file your taxes, the type of rates that go with your taxes based on your income, how to fill out a 1040EZ form, and yeah, so let's get started. Taxes. So, has anyone really known where taxes came from? Well, taxes is a majority financial charge that is imposed by the government on workers' income, business profits, or added to the cost of goods, services, and transactions. A failure to pay is punishable by law, but the origin of taxes dates back to the Civil War when Abraham Lincoln signed the nation's first tax on personal income to help pay for the Union war effort. However, it wasn't until 1909 when the 16th Amendment was passed that allowed the federal government to tax individual personal income regardless of state population. It has become an important yearly as it establishes the total amount of income made overall. At the end of the year, if you paid more than what you owe, the federal government will issue what is called a tax refund. And now I will pass it on to Bianca, who will go over the taxable incomes.
All right, so on my slide, I will be determining the amount of tax due based on taxable income. Determining the amount of tax due based on taxable income, you must calculate the adjusted gross income. I have a picture right here on the right. So basically your gross income, which is every dollar you've earned, and minus your deductible expenses, which could be business, medical expenses, and that is what gets you your taxable income. Like for example, the 2017 tax year, the exemption is equal to $4,050. Exemptions can be claimed for each taxpayer as well as dependents such as spouse and children.
So when you say business expenses, what really goes along with that?
Business expenses could be like my husband, he owns his own trucking company, right? So whenever they file taxes every year, they can write off business expenses as anything like stuff that's like around the house. Like no, well, like say for instance, like if you need some tools, right? So if you go buy some tools or something like that, like for your truck or anything that's for your truck or anything that's for your business, basically, you can write off that receipt and you can put it in your deductible expenses. And that's
That's all.
what you pay on tax. That's what you get back from when you file your taxes.
So it can work for any type of employment, including self-employment?
Well, no. It's usually when you own your own business.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now I will be going over income rates based on household status. And here I go. The tax rates usually go in between 10% and 37%. And depending on how much you make as an income is what bases off the amount of tax that will be owed by the end of the year, along with your taxes. So to sum up the graphs, it shows with each range income based on the household, single or married. It helps determine the tax rates ranging from 10% and 37% that will come out at the end of the year. However, for tax owed, the initial amount changes. With filing single, the initial will be lower than those that are married. Most cases, being married means discounts, but not when it comes to taxes. More money in return gets taken out due to what is called dependents, those living inside the home and or support more than 50%. Now, Bianca will be going over how to file a 1040EZ form.
Okie dokie. So I showed right here a picture of the 1040EZ form. That's usually an income tax return for single and joint filers with no dependents. Usually, like whenever you're filing out a 1040 EZ, you can have a dependent. You only have to have one dependent. Usually, they let you, but other than that, you cannot file a 1040 EZ. You probably need something like a 1040A or something like that. So use form of 1040 EZ if your filing status is single or married, filing jointly. You're under 65. You are not blind. You do not claim any dependents, which that has changed because I've filed a 1040 EZ and I was allowed to file at least one child before. That's only when I had one child anyway. Your total taxable income has to be less than 100,000. And this is the form right here. So then next you will gather your W-2s, fill out all your information on the 1040 EZ, and you fill out and you complete the 1040 EZ form.
So for the qualifications, does it have to be each one or can it just be one?
For what exactly?
For the form, to be able to file a form?
It depends. It depends on where you're asking like about the 1040 EZ.
Yes, like for the qualifications you were just speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to be able to qualify for each of them or can it just be one?
Well, usually, no, you have to qualify. I mean, I know they changed the 1040 EZ since, I've filed mine, but you have to qualify for certain tax returns that you fill out. Like the 1040A, usually they allow you to file more than one dependent, like you can file, more than two or what. So I know the 1040 EZ, they just recently let you start, doing just only one dependent. So I think you do have to have certain qualifications for certain tax forms to fill them out.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
All right, so the steps you take filling out in 1040 EZ. First, you need basic information like your name, spouse name, address, social security numbers, which is very important. Go at the top of the 2000. See, this is the 2010 IRS tax forms of the 1040 EZ. So they've changed so, drastically over the years. So this is basically the most recent one, the most recent information they had on it. That I got off of the IRS.com. Consider if you want to send $3 to the presidential election campaign. The next section on the tax form is for your income. Fill in your wages, salaries, and tips. These should be in box 1 of your W-2 IRS tax form. Also fill in your taxable interest on the tax forms, if any. Unemployment funds and Alaska funds go to line 3. Add lines, all add, and put the total in line number 4. This is your adjusted gross income. Now, even though this is a 2010 IRS tax form, it's still the same steps. It's just different. Not as many rules change, except for the one dependent that you can carry on the 1040 EZ. So in line number 5, mark on a IRS tax form 1040 EZ if anyone can claim you or your spouse as a dependent. If not, add 9,350 if you're single. If you're married, add 18,700, which is below the 100,000 mark. Subtract line 5 from number 4, and this is your taxable income. If line 5 is larger than 4, just put a 0. And next you would add the federal income tax withheld from your income. The total goes into line 7, lines 8 and 9 are your averages, or is for your average deductions, including the EIC. Add lines 7 through 9 up for line 10. And then next you use the total on line number 6 on your IRS tax form 1040 EZ to find your tax in the tax table. The amount should fit into a tax group in the chart. Enter the tax yours fits into line 11. Next, now line 11 is larger than 10. Subtract 10 from 11, then this is the amount you owe to the IRS. Line number 10 is larger than, if line number 10 is larger than number 11, congrats, you get a refund back, right? Subtract 11 from 10 to find out how much you will get back. Now, the 1040 Easy is basically, I mean, this is the 2010 one, but it's still the same steps.
We all love a refund, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And these are our references.
Yep, these are the references.
And we just like to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and we hope you'll have a good one. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.